Hello, is this thing on? Hello, is this thing on? Wow, the bumper faded away pretty quick there. How you guys doing? Welcome, everybody, to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and I hope you're doing wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us here on this fine Saturday evening as we're burning through 2 fun-filled full hours of the Paranormal Portal. And as you can see, not everything is quite ready yet. The time snuck up on us, as usually happens here on the show. Don and I are here talking and prepping and stuff, and the next thing I know, it's like, oh, God, we got to go. And here we are, just right on time. We weren't even late, folks. It was a complete act of, I don't know, I just happened to glance at the clock. I guess serendipity, maybe. But welcome, everybody. And, of course, I'm not alone. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard. Hello, Don.
It is Saturday night.
Hey, you're not even centered.
What?
Look at
Wow.
we didn't set up the cameras or anything.
Screw it.
You look fine. You get a little extra.
Beautiful.
I can wave on your screen now. Hello, everybody.
I don't see you. Oh, wait. That's because. Oh.
Just the mad hand coming through. And that's to those of you that are on YouTube. You can see exactly what's going on our cameras as we're broadcasting live here. And it's always a great pleasure to look up and see all the names of people that are here coming in to see what's going on. And all of you over on TFR, or the few of you there. There's Lucky's there. Hi, Lucky.
Hi, Lucky.
Bam's there. Johnny Angel's there. Ra Castaldo is there. Mr. Ra, good to see you, brother. And Eager Character. There's an Eager Character over there, Don.
Sweet.
I don't know what that means, but I think it might be a little eager. But anyway, we have a full boat of fun here for you tonight. We are, of course, going through 2 hours, and we're going to get into a lot of different things tonight, but we're definitely going to visit in the second hour. We're going to talk about the Mandela effects, and Mandela effects are really, really curious, and I think there's really something profound going on here. There's many people have many theories about what the Mandela effect is, but a lot of people think, hey, we might be from somewhere else and kind of got bumped into this different parallel universe where things are just a little bit different. And well, I'm just saying, could be though, because I think everybody's got some. When you go through the list of Mandela effects, everybody can go, yeah, that's why I remember it. What? Yep. It's not that way,
No,
I remember,
that's not how I remember it.
Well, yeah, but most of them, you and I are right lined up because we've gone through this subject before on the show. And it's really shocking when you start hearing how things, how they are now versus how you remember them.
Right.
And full disclosure, there's a lot of psychologists and people of the learned institutes that like to play it off. They like to play it off as some kind of function or defect in our memory recall. And I'll grant them that some of them maybe are. Like whether there was, just for one example, if there was a Jiffy peanut butter, if it's always just been Jif. A lot of people seem to remember Jiffy, but that could be, as it's been explained, people think it's a transposition of Jif and Skippy.
Right.
And, that it's kind of a memory defect.
Well, Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. But what spelling of fruit?
Was it FROOT or FRUIT?
Yeah, and I don't know.
So there's not like 2 you can put together there. Like you've got Jif and Skippy. You don't have the 2 that you can accidentally transpose or whatever. So who knows?
Right. Well, that's the stuff we're going to get into in the second hour, and of course, if any of you remember any of them or have personal Mandela effects, and I think those are actually kind of cooler to me. I mean, of course, the big memory defects, like, it was always mirror on the wall. What do you mean magic mirror?
Exactly.
And those are absolutely interesting, and I think that they're certainly worthy of discussion in that. I don't believe in the whole memory defect thing, because if it's one person having it, then that makes sense. But if entire sections of the population are having it, then that seems like a bigger deal to me. And so you'll have to let me know. But some of the ones I find the most interesting are the people who we just covered a story the other night, Don, and it was maybe just last night, as a matter of fact. But the way the story went is these people always went to their cabin area. They had property, and it was their grandfather's cabin or grandparents' cabin. And everybody, the family would all gather up there and wherever it was, whether it was Maine or whatever, I don't remember. But they said there was always this scrubby lot next door. And then suddenly the kid... What?
Right, yeah, it was a story we read on Wednesday.
Oh, was it Wednesday?
Yeah,
okay, and the
Wednesday.
kid woke up and was excited to go get bacon and eggs and pancakes and stuff, which is the morning ritual.
Right.
Went down and nobody was inside and could hear the voices. People were outside, and he went outside and looked, and all of his adult family members were talking to these two people out there, who were coming over to say hello because they lived in the cabin next door, which never used to be there.
Right.
And the family then came in from there. Basically told everyone, you're staying inside. Don't go out. We're going to be inside the cabin, and got out guns and stuff because they were all freaked out. And
so that means everybody remembers, like, where
Right.
the hell did those neighbors
right.
come from?
For all the time in memory, it was just a scrubby lot. But suddenly it was this developed lot with a beautiful cabin on it and stuff, and the whole family was shook. And it goes on and on. But that's a personal Mandela effect, right? So that not a lot of people would know about that, but those are the kind of weird changes that happen. Maybe reality is just so fluid and dynamic like that. But anyway, we're going to get into a lot of that in the second hour. But first of all, you know what we got to do, Don?
The news?
Danus.
Danus.
It's time for the news, folks. Buckle up. We're going into the Paranormal Portal news. Not a lot of it tonight, but there's a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. It is I, your anchor.
And me, you're not anchor.
You're like the bumper, and I'm like the anchor.
Great.
Everybody needs a bumper, Don. Otherwise, you're ramming into the dock, messing up the
So
boat.
what you're saying is I'm the guy who gets beat up. Right. Gotcha.
Depends on the night. Sometimes you never mind. I'm going to leave it alone. That's probably going to all go downhill in a hurry if I say the next thing out of my mouth. I've got to self-censor myself.
I am so ready.
I know. I've just got to keep it clean as much as it's hard to do sometimes. But anyway, this is the Paranormal Portal News, and this is just a little segment I threw together to talk about some weirdness that I find in the news sections of some of our favorite sites, one of which is unexplained-mysteries.com. And I got to tell you,
Oh my goodness.
if you're ever in the facilities rolling a deuce, just be careful. Just be careful in there. You might think you're home, you're safe, but you might not be. You might not be okay at all. In fact, make sure to check the bowl before sitting down to deal your load. Because,
Oh my God.
because this story is absolutely troubling. And the story is from unexplained-mysteries.com, folks. Snake emerges from toilet and bites some man on the behind.
That's a better place to get bit than another place that get bit.
Oh no! Yeah, he got a mouthful of snake. Apparently, it wasn't appreciating the delivery, and he was like, "No, you're in the wrong place. This is my new home." Let's read the story and find out what happened here. An unfortunate man in Malaysia got a rather rude awakening when he got up to use the bathroom recently. The unfortunate incident, which happened at a house in the outskirts of Iskandar Puteri, saw a snake measuring a whopping 10 feet in length emerge from the U-bend of a regular household toilet. After discovering what it had set up its home in the bowl, the house's occupants called up the fire brigade, who arrived with special equipment to help remove the intruder. The python was successfully caught using a snake pole and has since been released from the housing area, probably after a good bath, too. Said Fire Chief Kayari Zainuddin. Snakes usually come out during this hot season to spot for cool and wet spots. If you happen to live in Malaysia, checking the toilet before sitting down should be advised.
Wow.
I would think so. That's
Could you imagine sitting there and then all of a sudden your grapes get bit?
your grapes.
Your dangly bits? Whatever you want to call them?
Those are not rodents, damn it. No, that would be horrible. And if it's a 10-foot snake, I had like a 5 and 6 foot boa constrictor.
Oh no, Rachel.
Oh no, no.
She says the worst thing is behind him.
Oh no, but I can tell you that the the bites of those snakes, even though they are, they're mostly little needle teeth, but the bigger they are, the bigger those needles become.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had my 5-foot snake strike me in the forehead and left a perfect oval impression.
Wow.
And then I realized it actually struck me twice in the time that I thought it only hit me once.
Wow.
Yeah, he was really crabby that day. Or she was.
Apparently so.
So, but, I don't know. Those teeth do hurt for what it's worth. And the bigger they are, the more they hurt. So that's pretty absolutely terrifying.
I know what it feels like to get bit by a rabbit.
Do you?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I went to clean its hutch and it bit me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how do you taste?
I was going to say, and I bit him back.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Fresh off the grill.
Oh, poor thing. Poor little guy.
Whatever.
Well, that's the first of tonight's cautionary tales. Always check the bowl, folks. I think
From
that's
the tail end.
That's the takeaway of this. From the tail end, sorry. Yeah. Oh, my eyes. Jesus Louise. All right, let's continue on here.
All right.
What else do we got? We've got more. There's always more, folks. That's because that's how we work here on the portal. We always bring lots. Here's a weird article. I didn't even read this, but I saw the headline. I was like, that's pretty bizarre. That's plenty bizarre. I'm trying to make my eye quit weeping at the same time as I'm moving a window.
Oh.
I know, I'm so emotional, Don.
I know. God.
I love doing this show, just for the record. All right.
He loves this show.
I love this show. It's our anniversary month, folks,
It
just
is,
for the
yeah.
record. 5 years the portal's been in existence now. And Don, you're on the 4th year anniversary.
4th year, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. As of the 1st, yeah.
We'll talk about that a little more in
cool.
just a few minutes. But, yeah, this is not working out real well. All right, let's go to this one. This one is the next article, and this is fish are more like humans than you might think. Did you know that, Don?
No.
They don't look much like us, I'm just saying.
Ichthy demons.
Well, that kind of looks like my ex.
There's a sucker fish.
Never mind. I'm just being a jerk. All right. So it says it's difficult to imagine being a fish, but there are many things, some quite surprising, that we have in common. Okay, whatever. The fish. You've probably heard that fish have like a 3-second memory, or that they're incapable of feeling pain. Well, neither of these statements is true, but it's telling that these misconceptions don't crop up for other vertebrates. Perhaps it's because fish appear so different from us. They don't seem to have any capacity for facial expression or vocal communication, and we don't even breathe the same air. Collectively, these differences put fish so far away from humans that we struggle to relate to them. But when scientists have conducted experiments to discover more about fish, including their neurobiology, their social lives, and mental faculties, they've found time and time again fish are more complex than they have often been given credit for. Above all, fish seem to have more in common with us than we might like to admit. In my research, I work with zebrafish, the aquatic lab rat, and here we have 5 fascinating things that I and other researchers have discovered about them and their kind. Fish lose their memory as they age. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. If you got a brain, the older it gets, the more forgetful it gets, I guess. As humans age, our memories decline. Scientists work to understand biology, cognitive decline in order, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they lose their memory. We can go kind of briefly through this, I think. Number 2, fish like the same drugs as humans. Let's see, we got fish hanging out by the side streets, scoring their bag.
Hey man, you got a bag? Got a bag?
They really like them. Biologist Tristan Darland and John Dowling at Harvard University in the U.S. found that zebrafish particularly like cocaine.
I need my candy.
Which they tested by dangling the drug in their tank when the fish hung around at a certain visual pattern. The preference for cocaine was heritable. What does that mean? Heritable too? Okay. Oh. Offspring of fish with a penchant for the drug passed it on to their children. Oh. A pattern reported in humans. Yeah, it's called addiction.
It's called meth babies.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Zebrafish also show patterns of compulsive drug seeking seen in people suffering from addiction. Carolyn Brennan's research group at Queen Mary University of London found that fish would put up with being chased with a net if it meant gaining access to the cocaine.
Really?
Wow. So they were going to have all these strung out fish. Man, God, you can catch me if I could have a line.
Wow.
Working with Brennan's group at Pfizer, I'm glad this money's going to such incredible research. Is there something we gain by knowing that fish like drugs? Or does that just make us feel better about our own dysfunction?
I don't know.
We tested a range of other drugs, opiates, stimulants, alcohol, and nicotine to see what zebrafish can tell us about the abuse potential of new drugs, something that has to happen before they're licensed. It turned out they loved all of them.
Wow.
Except, that is, THC.
Oh.
The main psychoactive ingredient in cannabis. It seems zebrafish wouldn't make great hippies, but awesome junkies. So,
wow.
Awesome tweakers. All right, so fish remember their friends. You probably already know that fish are social animals, and they can synchronize their behavior in schools so that each individual mirrors the movements of their neighbors, and the group appears to move as one. What you probably didn't know is that individual fish can also recognize another fish from their own group. By smell, typically. Young fish prefer their own relatives, but as they get older females prefer familiar females, but unfamiliar males. What the hell does that mean?
That means they fish outside their waters.
So they're spreading the gene pool. Okay.
Yes.
All right. This ultimately helps prevent inbreeding. Okay. All right. Fish retain this memory for 24 hours, preferring to approach new fish rather than the last one that they spent time with.
Wow. Highly social.
Little hussies. Whatever. All right. So fish feel pain.
Yeah.
They really do. 2003 biologist Victoria Braithwaite and Lynn Snedden, I don't know. Then the University of Edinburgh and Roslin Institute put acid on the lips of trout. What the hell?
Wow. It's just a little lipstick.
Do you think they'll like it? I don't know. Do you think they will? No, nothing wants their flesh burned off. That's like Darwinism, like grade 1.
Yeah.
The fish showed classic pain responses.
No.
Moving away, rubbing their lips on the bottom of the tank, increasing their respiration, which disappeared completely once the fish were given a painkiller. Probably the Vicodin mentioned above. So
quite possibly the cocaine.
So we kind of see how the drug testing came into effect. It was
Gotcha.
after the acid testing.
Oh, gotcha. What can we give them to make them feel better? Cocaine.
Let's try cocaine.
I don't know. It's just a hunch.
A bunch of interns. What the hell's going on there? Hey, let's do the cocaine test again. Oops, I spilled some.
Sucker.
Yeah, exactly. You got a bunch of zoned out college kids in the lab. There's like powdered sugar everywhere. What's going on? Oh, we're testing the fish.
Seriously, I brought donuts this morning.
Fish can be impatient is the next takeaway. In my lab, we're interested in something called impulse control, and this is someone's ability to plan their behavior and wait for the best time to perform it. Poor impulse control is a trait seen in people with a range of psychiatric conditions, including attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, addiction, or obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah, it sounds like they're making a hell of a lot of compulsive fish. They trained zebrafish using trials, using a purpose-built tank. Anyway, well, so that's about fish. This is a lot more about fish than I intended on reading, but there you have it. They're more like us than we thought, folks. So enjoy that McFish sandwich the next time you're going through there, because, they're just like us. Yeah, it's probably better to think they're not like us, isn't it? I mean, do you have to feel guilty now if you eat fish?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No.
Never mind, we're good, folks. But that's the fish. Now you know more about fish, ladies and gentlemen.
I got a side and a half of pig in my refrigerator waiting for tomorrow. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole nother issue right there.
That's Don's addiction. It's like a meat popsicle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were talking several times about real estate and hauntings and stuff, and
right.
I think it was Android Purity weighed in on this as well, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
But here we have unexplained-mysteries.com. House for sale has not haunted sign outside.
Oh, gosh.
Well, let's just get that right out of the way first.
It's in Massachusetts. Wow. That's strange.
Residents of a town in Massachusetts have been left perplexed by a very unusual for sale sign. A trend that seems to have gained in popularity in recent years has been for homeowners and estate agents to advertise the fact that the house that they're selling is haunted in the hope of attracting more attention from prospective buyers, especially from those with an interest in the paranormal.
How do they justify that? How do they prove that it's haunted?
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you prove it's not haunted?
Again, I'm at a loss.
Okay.
I guess maybe they did some home improvements and didn't have.
Can they go back and say, you said this house was haunted and we haven't had one paranormal experience since we've moved in?
Yeah, could you get a discount?
Or sue the realtor?
Maybe. I bet you that. Well, there's lawyers involved in all of it, so it's probably all wrapped up in language that you can't really challenge. But in this case, however, someone seems to have gone to great lengths to do the complete opposite. Residents of a Boston area neighborhood this week couldn't help but notice that a for sale sign outside one of the houses had an additional sign that read "Not Haunted" in big red letters.
Big red letters.
This just went up around the corner, and I have so many questions, wrote Margot Blumstein, who took a photograph of the unusual sign and posted it up on Twitter. The precise whereabouts of the house have been withheld for privacy reasons. However, the estate agent involved in the sale has reportedly denied having anything to do with the "Not Haunted" sign.
Right.
So did the homeowner place it there, or did someone else do it as a prank? Whatever the case, it seems that someone must be very skeptical about the prospect of any paranormal activity going on at the property. Well, maybe the house just has a reputation like, oh, that's a haunted house.
Yeah. That's where the witch lives.
Yeah, that's right. That's where those kids went missing.
And those darn kids.
And their Snoopy dog.
Yeah. Android Purity, I did not miss it. Android did us a super chat.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, I didn't miss it.
Aw, very cool.
I just let Brent do most of the talking some days.
Some days. Like all of the days, Don.
Not all the days.
Pretty much all of the days.
Whatever.
All right, so folks, that is tonight's version of
the news.
The News.
The news.
Hope you enjoyed it. Well, I don't know about you, Don, but I feel well informed now.
Well, I don't know. I just got told it's my fault.
It's your
Thanks,
fault.
Rigger.
Aw, well. No, that's really cool. Thank you, Android. I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely.
That is really cool. Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
Wow.
Happy anniversary.
It's an anniversary message.
Happy.
Yep, that's a good one. It's a good anniversary to have.
Woo-hoo.
I don't know. Is there an actual date?
I love you dearly. No.
Of my first show. What is the date?
The actual date, April 23rd, 2016. Why do I know this? Because I'm the archivist.
The archivist, yeah. Yeah, you are. Yep, and you produce the podcast as well. So, yep, April 23rd. So not quite a year, but I mean,
it's the month.
It's the month.
It's the month.
It's, it was in the planning phases at this time anyway. So
It is, though, the 4-year anniversary of us being together on the show. So that is the truth.
Oh, yeah. When was that?
April 1st.
April 1st.
2017.
Was it actually?
Yes, it was.
So
I keep telling you, every year I tell you this. It's like when I first talked to you and you said, hey, why don't you just do a story and come on the show? And then oddly enough, the next show that I was supposed to be on was April 1st. And I was like, is he like pulling like an April Fool's joke on me? And then sure. Yes, it actually happened. Boy, I had to really censor that one.
Come on over and be on the show, Don.
There was 2
Don's
S-words
outside
coming
scratching
out
like a kitten, and I was like,
hey, let me in. Let me in. Tell me it wasn't fake. Thank you for the thumbs down, you. Love you too.
It's all love.
Yes.
It's all love. We ain't going to let them hurt us.
No.
They can give us all their sass, and we don't care. We got plenty more sass where that came from.
We don't care. You can give us sass. We don't care.
Yeah, I think you're free to sing that one. That's
don't care.
Nobody's going to argue with that one, I don't think.
Because you're just an...
In my head, I heard what you were thinking. It started with ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started with ah. and ended with. It did too. Maybe it didn't end there, but it was definitely
it was
followed
glass without the GL.
Wow, there you go. We've actually got a lot more to go here, folks.
Yep.
We're going to go to our first break here.
Thank you for the next 2.
What?
Yeah, now we have 3.
What do we? Oh, really? Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
If I catch you, I'll just boot you on out.
If we can figure out who we are,
we'll
ban you.
We'll get you.
We'll get you good. But,
Anyhow.
folks, we're going to be going to the first break of the night. We're going to open up for phone calls in hour number 2.
Number 2.
So if you want to call in and be a part of the show, hour number 2 is your time to do so. And we'll be waiting for that. But we'll be right back with more of the Paranormal Portal. Don't go away.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello.
We are back for a half hour. Number 2 is upon us, as the first half hour just blew by. And we are absolutely thrilled that all of you guys are here with us.
Ecstatic.
You complete us. You give us purpose and scope and reason. And
We're just like the Partridge Family.
God, that just brought me all the way back to a way different part of my life. I remember watching that stuff on TV, and that's probably dating myself quite a bit. But yeah, man, Portal Bunny. What? Is there a Portal Bunny?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
A little cottontail.
Yeah, there you go. Might be the one on your Barbie, Don. All right. So, folks, we are, of course, burning through the night. As always, thank you for joining us. We're going to get to phone calls in the second hour. So if you want to call in and be a part of it. I did see there was a call on the line. That's why I said, hey, let's wait till the second hour, if you would, please. And we'll get to that. But we are going to be going through, in the second hour also, we're going to be going into Mandela effects. And I know this is a topic most of us can relate with. But before that, we're going to get to an article that I found that looks like a bucket of fun.
What?
A bucket of fun, Don.
A bucket of fun.
Looks like a bucket of fun.
I thought you said a bucket of chum. We were going to throw it to the fish.
No, bucket of fun.
Oh.
But I found another sprawling list of goodness from
You've been finding some
Factinate.
long ones.
I know, it's crazy.
I love those long lists.
Well, I like them too, except that they're actually like they're advertisements. I don't know what to call it, but just it's just the pages are so stacked with ads.
Ad porn.
They got ad porn. That's a great way to put it.
Ad porn.
So they got great material to go through.
Between the ad porn.
But you got to get through all the ads, and that's the part I hate. Now, also, a lot of them lock it down so you can't open them up on an ad-safe browser, which really sucks. So anyway, what we're talking about here is an article from a site called Factinate.com. And it's beyond belief these eerie experiences simply can't be explained. And I read through a few of them. And the first one's pretty trippy. It says, I was in high school, and a group of classmates, our teacher and I, were exploring an abandoned mental hospital.
Oh.
Now, what kind of field trip is that, Don? Because I didn't go to that school.
I want to go on. I want to be there. I know. Count me in.
I would sign up to be like a chaperone on one of those. That'd be awesome. So whatever it is, that's really cool. It was a broad daylight, but I saw nothing scary. Honestly, the building felt sad to me. We left, and as we're walking down the street, a classmate said, hey, there's blood on your leg.
Ooh.
And indeed, there was blood down the side of my right leg and on my sock.
Wow.
I stopped at a public restroom and washed my leg. It was unblemished. I hadn't bumped into something and gotten even the tiniest scrape or cut. There was no reason at all for blood to have run down my leg and dried there, unless it came from inside the abandoned building. How's that for creepy?
Yeah, that's spooky.
So it's like, I don't know how they determine it was for sure. Excuse me.
Wow.
Oh, that was all that's the first Coca-Cola I've had forever, man. That just, excuse me, folks. I try not to be incredibly gross and rude, but that just happened, and I can't undo it. So,
like we've got a buzzer, we can go back 7 seconds.
Yeah, if that was the case, I could have gotten rid of some problem people in the past. But
no doubt.
We had a 7-second buffer. But what if it was just some red liquid that appeared like blood? Maybe it was rusty water or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. It's not that I believe in the paranormal because this is what we do. But what if it's not? I don't know. This one's called Second Chance. It says, my dad passed when I was 15, and a few days before, he'd called and left a voicemail just that he was trying to make sure if I still needed a ride somewhere and that he loved me. A year later, and a few days before the anniversary of his passing, my phone buzzed, and it said I had a voicemail. Well, I knew I hadn't missed a call because I was using my phone when it popped up. When I listened to it, I burst into tears. It was that voicemail from a year ago. It was crazy because I had been super upset some months previously. I used to listen to that voicemail to hear him say he loved me again, but one day, my mailbox automatically deleted it because it was too old. It's like he gave it back to me so I could record it and keep it forever.
Wow.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Nice.
So the automated voice system went, "No, that's an old message. We're going to sweep that off."
Right.
And somehow it came back as a new message. That's pretty powerful. Right, Don?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah. So this one is number 3, not so shaggy dog story.
Oh, goodness. Please, Scooby, don't.
Yeah. All right. One night I came home from a date at about 11 p.m. The house was dark and I didn't switch on any lights because I know my way around. I went straight to the bathroom, and on my way back down the corridor, I bumped into my dog, a Shar-Pei, and he's as big as a mid-thigh, and I told my boy I loved him and he should be sleeping, but good boy for checking on his mom. I opened my bedroom door, which was almost entirely closed, switch on the lights at the same time, only to see on my bed, sleeping, my dog. He lifted his head when the light came on and looked at me. I would have heard him or felt him move past me if he beat me to the bedroom from the corridor. I was alone. What bumped into me?
Can dogs have doppelgangers? Do you think dogs have doppelgangers?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
just the energy of the dog, around the house going, everything's cool. Oh, wait.
Yeah, he just astrally
Yeah,
patrolled.
exactly, yeah.
He was astral projection.
Astro. We'll name him Astro from now on.
Astral, yeah. What a little
Wow.
astral. When they dog a little astral. Sorry. It's free entertainment, folks. What do you want?
Low-hanging fruit like the guy in Malaysia.
He's feeding. What are you talking about, Don? He's feeding the snakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because when I had I never fed my snakes. Well, I quit feeding live because it's just heartbreaking. But I get the frozen mice and stuff, and you dangle them in there like you warm them up in hot water, because they're in bags and stuff. You warm them up so they get warm. And then you dangle them in by the tail. And those snakes, they aren't gentle about it. They're just like, whap. They pull it. It's like, oh, that poor guy. I don't know. He said he got bit in the bottom. But what bottom did he get bit in? Because there's a lot of bottom cooking right there. And usually they hit the lowest hanging part. So
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of nunk he was cooking on that one. But he could have.
That's the really low-hanging fruit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my gosh.
You pull them up by the roots. It's like, oh, geez, a 10-foot python? Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
Gosh. It's a snapper.
He was noodling the old-fashioned way.
Oh, God.
All right. This is a story we covered, in case you're just coming in. We covered a story from Malaysia where a guy sat down to use the toilet in the middle of the night, and a python decided to make his toilet home, and 10-foot python at that, and it struck him in the tail, so in the butt. But there you go. Number 4 is Farewell to Arms. It was about 1973. I went to work like any other day. It's not a day. It was about 1973. That's a whole year. Well, it says, I went to work any other day. I got out of the car and walked to the entrance. On the way, I saluted the warrant officer Fardy. That's the guy's name, F-A-R-D-Y.
Fardy, not Farty.
Yeah. As I always did, but this time there was something different.
Yeah.
That day he was in uniform, but he usually wore civilian clothes.
Oh, okay.
Well, he waved me on and said he'd be in the office in a minute. So I got to my office expecting to be the first one there. I always got there first because I was the lowest ranking guy in the office, and I had to make the coffee. I was surprised that the chief, a captain, and his senior sergeant were already in the office. The captain asked me to sit down at my desk, and I thought I was in trouble. He said that he had some bad news.
Oh.
But what he told me truly made my blood run cold.
I know what happened.
He said that the warrant officer Fardy had been in a head-on collision at 3 a.m. that morning,
Right.
and he hadn't made it. I protested, saying that I just saw him outside in the parking lot. The captain said he and the sergeant had identified the body just an hour earlier. I still can't explain it. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That is really, really wild.
That's dedication.
Yeah, that man took up his post no matter what.
Yep.
That's incredible. Oof. That's a huge story, It's kind of like the one of the guys smoking a cigarette with his patient friend and coming in to find out the patient friend passed 2 hours before.
And wasn't there a story that MCAT told us about? I thought MCAT told us a story about he went to pick up his wife or something at the hospital.
Yep. Yeah, and a coworker that had died at the hospital had died like a week prior, and MCAT watched him walk out of the hospital and walk up the sidewalk. And it was like, he knew what he was looking at, and he knew the guy well enough to know that's him, but he's just doing his life. And you got to wonder, maybe people do that. Like they just do what they did, you know? That some part of them remains, if not, a major part for a while. Maybe it takes a while for the soul to move. Yeah. All right, number 5, following in your footsteps. I just moved into a new house. One day I was downstairs when I heard what sounded like furniture moving around upstairs. Well, I go up to investigate, but no sounds. Nothing is moved. I go back down, and it starts again. I go back up. Nothing. Well, this went on for about an hour. I almost called law enforcement because I was positive someone was in my house. That is crazy. It says I ended up calling a friend and kept them on speakerphone while I searched the attic and other places for something. Maybe an animal could be hiding, but I never found anything. I gave up my search and went to bed. I thought it was over. But things got even creepier. That night I had a dream that I was driving to work in the rain and fog and crashed. In the dream, someone approached me and asked, "Are you ready to move on?" And at that moment, I woke up.
Wow.
At that time, I was working mid-shift, so around 10 p.m. that same day, I got in the car on a foggy and rainy night and make my way into work without an issue. The building I worked in had security cameras all over it, so it being so late, I was the only person coming in. When I get inside, my coworker asked me a bone-chilling question. They told me they'd seen me come in on the cameras, and they were wondering who I'd come in with. I was alone, but she swore someone followed me inside. It was a very unnerving 12 hours, to say the least. So somebody came with.
Wow.
It was Bring a Friend Day.
Oh, jeez. That's kind of scary.
That is creepy. That's way creepy. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. I'll be alone.
I heard that song on the radio
dancing,
today. You know what's really sad is today I was at work and they were playing Violent Femmes, Blister in the Sun.
Oh, really?
I probably shouldn't have been belting it out as loud as I could, but it was fun.
Don't you forget about me. It's the Breakfast Club song.
It is.
All right, it's weird. We can just accept it when really strange and terrifying things happen to us. My grandmother or gran passed on in our family home when I was 16. Her room was directly above our dining room, and when she was alive, she'd been fond of sitting for hours in a rocking chair while watching television. In the months after she passed, I kept hearing the floorboards in her room creaking whenever I was downstairs in the dining room. It was like she was still there, rocking away in her chair. We had the double-glazed windows, so it was definitely not the wind. And on one occasion, I was in the shower and the bathroom door blew open, and I heard someone calling my name. My gran used to come into the bathroom to use the toilet whenever I was showering when she'd been alive. Again, there was no wind, so there was no explanation for the door suddenly opening by itself. On another occasion, I'd been talking to my stepmother about my gran when all of a sudden a photo fell down from the cabinet in the living room. That photo had been secured with a blue tack and had been standing for over 15 years.
Wow.
It was like my gran was there listening to us and wanting us to know she was there. Despite all that happening, I always just carried on as if nothing terrifying was happening and never actually told my parents about the weird stuff that had happened when they left me alone at home.
Wow, so there's more?
Apparently, but that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all this story is, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe it's the favored grandchild or something, Yeah. Grandma's just going to stick close. I guess that's a good thing. Number 7, Tuesday's Gone. Wow, they really hit the song titles.
Yeah, I know.
Rolling Stones, yeah.
Oh, Tuesday's Gone? Well,
Tuesday's Gone with a wind.
Oh, I was thinking Blue Monday.
Oh, no. That's a different song.
Huh.
But maybe that'll come up too. You never know. One time I went to sleep Monday night and woke up Wednesday morning.
Really?
That's
what happened to Tuesday?
It's gone. That's what the title said. Everyone I asked about it told me that I had done my routine on Tuesday, perfectly normal. Gotten out of bed, washed up, ate breakfast, went to school, attended classes,
Good.
played video games for a few hours, ate dinner, and went back to sleep. But I remember absolutely none of it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's like somebody else just like Jesus take the wheel kind of thing, right? Don?
Yeah, maybe he had a walk-in.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Exactly. That's
Wow.
it. Somebody else was driving the bus for a day.
Yeah.
Oof, that's creepy. Well, let's see what the next one is. This is coming attractions, Don.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League?
Yeah, well, that is a coming attraction. I want to see that, too. I've heard good things. Mr. Cade apparently is going on about it.
He's been going on about it.
Well, can you blame him? It's
No,
not,
I mean, he's got another one. He's got another podcast called something and deals with stuff like that.
something. Yeah, I know. But, the funny thing is, and this has nothing to do with the paranormal, but just indulge me for a second.
Certainly.
I'm an old comic book geek.
No.
No, it's true, really.
No, really?
I know you might not have thought that looking at me,
Wow.
Don, but I love me some comic books all my
Wow.
life. In fact, that was about the only kind of books I would read. And I have no complaints because I learned about virtue and being good and using my powers for good.
There you go. Excellent.
Yeah, there's some good takeaways from this.
So
But
what does that mean for me?
well, I don't know what
I used to buy the comic books, but I never read them.
But my point is that I never thought I would see the day
Uh-huh.
when the biggest movies would be
Oh, yeah,
comic
no
book
doubt.
movies. It's like, wow. It's like the world kind of made a part of it just for me. To see those comic books come to life and to see the characters embodied by real people doing things. It's like, wow. I don't know. It's just really cool. But anyway, coming attractions is next. I once had a weird dream about these two men and a woman at a water park, and they were Huh?
That sounds like a whoops.
Oh. They were walking forward, so my point of view was behind of them. The woman had one leg, so she had one arm wrapped on one man's shoulder and the other arm wrapped on the other man's shoulder.
Okay.
I realized that it was a bit strange, but I thought nothing of it. Fast forward a few months later, I went to El Salvador with my family, and we went to a water park. At this water park, I see those exact same people in the exact same point of view I had seen them in my dream. But that wasn't the weirdest part. The whole world went black, and I only saw those people. There was a black bar on the top and a black bar on the bottom, like on a movie screen. I only saw them, no one else, and I have no clue why it occurred, and no one believes me when I tell them the story.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
I know why. Because it was a glitch in the Matrix. She was seeing it in widescreen format.
Life is widescreen, Don.
No, life is in your face.
It's
But
VR.
when there's a glitch, you only see, you see that the 1080p widescreen, and you see those black bars above and below.
Maybe that's when you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know the Matrix is screwing up.
Wow.
Number 9 is the Gone Girl. I live in a beach town, and one of my friends had just gotten back to her parents' house for the summer, so I went over to hang out for a little while. Since it wasn't late, and when I went to go home, I figured I'd take the long way home to drive along the bay for the view of the stars and the lights of the ships waiting to go up the river. When I got to the road that runs along the bay, I realized I wasn't going to see anything because a heavy fog had rolled in, which is super common for the spring. This road is 25 miles per hour road with the beach and trails over the dunes on the left and houses on the right. I was driving along the road with a pretty bad visibility for how foggy and dark it was. All of a sudden from my left, I see a figure coming up the dune towards the road. I slammed on my brakes hard enough to skid a little because I thought it was someone coming off the beach to go to a house across the road, and I didn't want to hit them. I'll never forget what I saw. It had the shape of a woman in a long dress, but there were no facial features. When it got to the middle of the road, the figure just floated up at an angle and disappeared.
Wow.
There wasn't a beach access trail where I saw it, and I can't figure out any logical explanation for the way it hovered and took off. I stopped and watched it until it disappeared, trying to figure it out. It freaked me out pretty badly, honestly, and even 5 or 6 years later, I can still picture the way it moved like it was yesterday. Ah, that's weird. So what the hell is that?
An apparition.
You think so?
Yeah, it's the only explanation, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know if it's a cryptid or something, but it looked like a woman, I guess. No face whatsoever, though. That's creepy. The not-so-private investigator.
Okay.
It's just all about being public about it. I'm just here investigating. My sophomore year of high school, I took a different bus to hang out with my friend for a bit before going home since they were nearby. I started walking home and eventually getting to the street before turning into my neighborhood. I was just walking on the sidewalk when I noticed a blonde woman sitting in a gray car with her window rolled down on the other side of the street facing me. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I'm a very observant person, so I tend to look around a lot when I'm walking. I glanced back over and I noticed that she has a big camera with a big lens on it,
Nice.
which is very clearly pointing at me, and is following me with it as I walk in her direction. I see her take a flash photo of me, put the camera down, then roll up her window and drive around the corner.
Yeah.
I tried to walk along where she drove to see if she was hanging out around the corner, but she was gone. It's been maybe 10 years, and I still think about it. That's all kinds of wrong. Yeah, that's creepy. This is truth in dadvertising.
Advertising.
I don't know what dadvertising is, but my father and I have a pretty easygoing relationship. We love to joke with each other, and one day I saw him walking out of his room to go to the bathroom. I remember waving hello. He waved back with a smile. Moments later, I see him walk out of his room again, and I tell him, Dad, I literally just saw you walk into the bathroom a few seconds ago. As I mentioned that easygoing relationship, he must have thought I was joking, and he replied, Yep, I have now unlocked teleportation abilities. Obviously, I knew that this was impossible, but for some reason, though, I never talked about it. All I know is that I saw something go from one place to another, and it interacted with me. Maybe he was telling the truth. Yeah, probably not. He probably didn't really unlock teleportation, but maybe it was a projection. Maybe it was a thought form. So, we talk about tulpas.
Right.
Tulpas are just basically thought forms. So what if, just for some odd reason, you're sitting there thinking, God, I got to go to the bathroom, but let me just do this. But automatically there's enough of the conditions for whatever reason that you actually create a thought form of yourself that goes to the bathroom. I mean, really.
Well, what if he was dreaming that he needed to go to the bathroom?
What if? Yeah.
Yeah, and that dream manifest in him going to the bathroom, and
then
he woke up and actually went to the bathroom.
he's like, wait a minute, I'm not really in the bathroom. I'm still in bed. Oh,
wait!
And he got up and actually did it. Those are scary dreams.
Got to tie that off.
You ever have that dream where you're sure you're in the bathroom and then it's like, oh no, I'm not in the bathroom.
I'm not saying anything.
You have. I know I have, and it's like, crisis averted, thank God. But I was like, oh my God, I'm way too old for this. I'm sure of it. What do you do? All right, so you're getting a lot of more autobiographical version of the Paranormal Portal.
Welcome
tonight.
to the family.
Yeah, you guys are part of the family, so you get to know all the stupid stuff as well.
Yeah, no. I deny it. I categorically deny it.
Yeah. So we're almost at the hour break here.
Really? Already?
Yeah, it's
wow.
About 2 minutes left. So.
And Viva just came in.
Oh, all right. Welcome. Good to see you.
It's about time.
Better late than never is the next story. You can't make this stuff up, folks.
Just lucky.
All right. I'm a 911 dispatcher, and about 5:30 one morning, I took a call from a lady saying she thought she was having a heart attack. Well, after getting her address and all the normal questions, I asked her if she wants me to stay on the phone with her till the ambulance gets there, but she declined, saying she still had to get dressed because the chest pain woke her up and she was still in her night clothes. From the time I answered the call till the ambulance arrived, there was 17 minutes, as it was a rural area. The ambulance gets to the scene almost immediately, called for a deputy saying the patient is deceased.
Wow.
Now, I just talked to the lady, and she wasn't having a lot of difficulty breathing at the time of the call or anything, so I'm kind of shocked. I send my deputy and ask him, because I'm thinking that she must have just passed on, and the EMS crew didn't want to work on her because it was almost time to go home.
Whoa.
The deputy got back to me, and his answer was devastating. He said that she'd been gone for a couple of hours at least.
Wow.
So I wonder, was there initially someone else in the house who woke up to find her and called us, pretending to be her before leaving?
Huh?
Did someone come visit at 5:30 a.m. only to find her, call us saying they were there and leave? Or did her ghost just want her body found? I'm clueless, but have had this type of thing happen only a handful of times in my 30-plus years of dispatching.
Wow.
Craziness, folks.
Well, that's it.
All right, we're going to go to the hour break. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes for more of the Paranormal Portal. Don't go away.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me, and their lies keep falling apart. With my silence, I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise, you're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed.
A nightmare from which they cannot wake. I can't see you, Mommy. Where are you? I've never sensed anything like it. Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that is different from themselves. Her life force. It is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are of fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, hour number 2 is off to the races here on the Paranormal Portal. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of our journey. And if you like it, then by all means...
Oh, gosh. I was just thinking this.
If you're having fun here on the portal, and we hope you are, we hope you'll take the time to get subscribed if you're hanging out on YouTube with us, and ring the bell so that you'll be part of the family and just be notified every time we do anything, which could be, well, can be anytime really, but usually it's Wednesday through Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do live streams. We'd love for you to become a part of our family and what we're doing. So thank you for stopping in. Thanks for giving us a chance, and we hope you're having a good time. If not, just remember you're getting what you paid for. Just kidding. All right, thanks, guys. All right, let's fade down there. Turn it off. And we're all set for hour number 2, and we do have a phone call. So let's get to this.
Phone call, yay!
Phone call, yay. And this is from area code 410. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. It's Android Purity. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're
how
doing
you
good.
doing?
Thought I'd just call in to clarify the house thing a little more. So I know we touched on it briefly and through the chat before, but honestly, before I go into it, it is a very gray area. So anyone listening, this is not legal advice. Talk to your local realtor or your local, lawyer before enacting on anything I say, because the law is different in every state. But vast majority of states, you don't have to disclose if the house is paranormal activity in it, and it's based off of the law views it as a psychological stigma. So it's not a physical thing or a material thing. It's more of a perception or a perceived threat. So if someone's murdered there or, has suicide there, some states might require to disclose that, but not maybe the haunted part. Mm-hmm. But even some states don't even require to disclose if a murder or suicide is there. But anyways, for the vast majority of states, you don't have to disclose it. But even if you're, say, in a state where you don't have to disclose it, if the buyer asks the seller point blank or asks the seller's realtor, does the seller believe their house is haunted? Technically, they should still answer truthfully. Oh. Now, if, say, for some reason they didn't answer truthfully and they lied, and then you bought the house and come to find out later that, maybe you did have paranormal activity, it still would be a very gray area to try to get any legal action on that. Yeah. You would still need some sort of hard proof, probably, is what I'm guessing. Like, say, for example, if you found out from someone who knows the seller after buying the house that they did believe it was haunted and you were having paranormal activity, and you were able to get some sort of maybe text message proof where the seller is saying, "Oh, I'm so glad I got out of that haunted house," you might have something to work with, but I mean, it would be definitely, I'm sure, even in that scenario, it would be very hard.
Sure, yeah, and I think that anytime you try to substantiate to a legal definition that something is haunted, I think you're going to be having a hell of a time uphill with that one, because it's a matter of belief.
If you're able to prove that it's affecting the value of the house, then that might be courts or judges maybe more favorable to that, because it's having a financial effect. Like, say, if you put your house up for sale and everybody who finds out about it doesn't want to buy the house anymore, then that could have more substantial case there, but still, it's a very much a gray area for sure. And the only reason I can think of someone putting up a not haunted sign on a house like that is if the house did have a history or stigma with it already that was known in the area as like, oh, that's where those people were killed, that's where that guy committed suicide.
Yeah.
I could see maybe putting that sign up then, but if it didn't have that, I don't know why they would put up that sign.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. But, on the other hand, as we were discussing, when we did talk before, there is definitely proof to the fact that some people are actually willing to pay more for haunted houses, which is kind of a crazy thing all in itself. But there you have it. But I appreciate your input, brother.
If you're marketing a house that's haunted, like the other flip side, I mean, from my experience, I never had to go through this, but if I had a seller who wanted to market it as haunted, I'd probably make sure there was some language in there that, the seller is not responsible if no paranormal activity happens to you kind of thing. So, they can't come back later.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the clarifications as always. We appreciate that input.
Yeah, absolutely. Thought I would clarify because it's definitely a complicated gray area.
It definitely is, man. But thanks again. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, you too.
All right. Good night, brother.
There you go.
Good night.
There you go.
Very cool. That was Android Purity, ladies and gentlemen, from the YouTube chat weighing in. And he is actually does real estate. So he's coming from an educated place on this.
It's interesting, though. It's like, how do you get hard proof? You'd have to get, like, the old seller, the original seller, texting or, recorded saying something like that. I mean, because it's not exactly like a ghost is going to sweep in, manifest a shawl, and leave it there, right?
Well, it's happened.
Apparently it has.
Yeah. People have had... there was one story we covered, God, it was years ago.
Right.
But there was a story of this woman had a great friend. And the friend was really commonly just coming into the house and stopping in and visiting, saying things. And it's just kind of a force of nature kind of person. But she said it was really weird. She kind of came in one day and was talking about just this, that, and the other thing, and came in the house and sat down for a second and then was like, oh, I got to run, so I'll talk to you later. Left like an item of clothing, as I recall, like a scarf or something.
A scarf or a little
something.
Windbreaker or something like that.
But the person left, and the person who lived there was like, didn't recall hearing the car coming or going. Person was just gone. Looked out and nothing, and then found out very soon after that, received a phone call that the friend in question had passed on hours before. And there in the home was one of those items of clothing.
Right.
So, I mean, this is amazing. It's a magical experience.
Well, didn't we also talk about a story one time where somebody came over and they brought beer and they left the beer behind, and then the person that they visited, that they took the beer to, found out like the person had died like 2 or 3 hours before that?
Well, that was Diana, I think is what you're talking about. The guy didn't die, though. He was just in a coma. He was in the hospital. She was all stressed out. One of our listeners, Diana, called in, and she shared a story. They had just bought a farm, her husband and her, and the guy that they were buying the farm from, or some of the land or whatever, was a good friend and would stop by. And she was all stressed out because there was this one baby calf that was doing terribly. That's right. And she was just beside herself because she was trying to care for it, to get it back on its feet. And said finally this older guy came in and stopped in for a visit, and she got him a beer like always, put it down on the table. She said it was weird because he never touched it, but they sat there and chatted, and he said, it's just sometimes tough, and that, it's not an easy job, but, you'll do great. You'll do great things, and no worries and all that. And she met with him, and then he said he had to go. She went in the house, and her husband was in there, and he was in showering the whole time that the guy stopped over. And she said, well, so-and-so was just here talking to me. And he goes, that's not possible. She goes, why? She goes, and his husband said, he's in the hospital in a coma.
Right.
And it was just this amazing experience. So, apparently this stuff does happen, folks. Strange as it is, it's all, these are very credible people. I have no doubt that what she's telling us is the absolute truth. So very, very wild. But we're going to get into the Mandela effects, but we are in hour number 2. So remember, if you want to call in and be a part of it, that's fine. You can do so. Call in 720-923-0500. Again, 923-0500. If you forget and you're watching on YouTube, look above my head under the words Paranormal Portal. There's a call-in number. So it's always up there, just tastefully hidden. So, welcome call-ins. Oh, there's another call-in. And, looks like it's real call-in. So, cross fingers. I don't know. This is area code 812. You're on the air.
Hey, it's me, Brad Forsey.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
I got a couple. How you guys doing? Hey, you guys are killing the game tonight. Looking good there, Don. Like the beard, bud.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a couple stories. Do you got time to hear one?
Absolutely. We got all the time you need, brother. Go ahead.
All right. Well, this happened about kind of hard to do without giving you guys visuals, but I'll do the best I can. So, because the story you told a bit ago about the Shaw showing up, it reminded me of this story. This happened to me about, I don't know, it's probably about 3 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine that I went to school with. Known her since high school. We'd been friends, and she got a hold of me on Facebook. Long story short, or short story long, however you want to put it. She said, "Could you come over and give me a hand with my garage?" She'd rented this house, been in there about, I don't know, 6 or 8 months or so, and the garage door was messed up on it, and wanted to know if I could, next time I was over towards her house, which is about 15, 20 minutes away from me, if I would help her fix it. I said, sure. So I stopped by her house, and the house she's renting, it's a little small 2-bedroom, but that doesn't matter. The garage is, she was living on a corner, and the front of the house faced one street, and then behind the house was the detached garage that I was going to be fixing something in.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I don't even remember what that was. I think it was the garage door was messed up.
Okay.
But it was probably about, from the front door to the back door, it was probably 75 yards or so to get to the garage. So it was a pretty good ways away from the house.
Oh, okay.
And so we went into the garage, just me and her. We were the only two people at her house. And I looked at what I was going to be fixing, whatever. And I said, all right, where's the tools and everything? So there was a bench as soon as you walked in the garage on the right-hand side. And above the bench was these drawers. And so she opened up a drawer and pulled out a packet of screws, bolts, something like that. But they were wrapped in cellophane and had clear tape on them. They were wrapped all around them.
Okay.
That's important because of what happened next. So, and she sets them on top of the bench there on the right-hand side of the garage. I said, all right, where's the tools at? And she goes, inside the house, there's a bucket underneath the sink, and it's got a drill in it, screwdrivers, anything you need to fix this. I said, all right. So she stayed in the garage. I walked out of the back door of the garage up to the front of the house. In the front of her house, there was a porch, and in front of the porch was a flower bed about probably 3 or 4 foot, out with bricks around it, what have you. So as I'm walking up to the front of the porch, I step over the flower bed, and I noticed that the screen door, which was new, and the front door was new as well, was open a little bit. I thought, that's kind of odd. And because I know we shut it when we came out of it.
Okay.
Going back to the porch. And so I open up the screen door, and I look down, and it's that same packet of bolts that she had just pulled out of the drawer and set on the counter in the garage. Now, I've racked my brain over this. I went over that scenario probably 1,000 times. I was like, there's no way she beat me up here. Because I'm like, you look around for a candid camera or something. You're like, what? How did this
Yeah.
How did this even happen, you know? And I was like, there's no way she beat me up here, you know? So I'm just kind of flabbergasted and dumbfounded. I pick up the bolts and I stick them in my pocket.
Uh-huh.
I walk into the house. I go underneath the sink. I pull out the 5-gallon bucket with the tools in it. I go back to the garage and I said, you're not going to believe this. And of course she didn't. She looks at me like I'm half dumb, like I'm a window licker or something. And, she really didn't believe it.
Oh my God.
And but yeah, I racked that story over and over again. There's no way she could have beat me up there. The only thing I can think of, so about 2 years ago, I was watching a ghost hunting story, and this woman, they were investigating an old cabin, if I remember correctly. She didn't have anything in her pockets when she went into the house, but a coin showed up in her pocket, and it was an Israeli coin, blah, blah, blah. But it said that, and I didn't know this, it said that poltergeists are known for taking and hiding objects and moving them around and things like that.
Sure.
I didn't even know that, but
yeah,
the only thing I can figure is maybe that, but I had talked to her before. She never said that she saw anything in that house, or she doesn't live there now, but she said she never saw anything or nothing weird had ever happened in the 9 months previous to me fixing the garage door till I see this packet of bolts. And like you said, there's no doubt it was the exact same ones that she had set on the counter.
Oh,
and
man.
They were, yeah.
That is cool.
Bizarre. But so there's one of my paranormal experiences, but I'll let you guys get back to it. Hey, great show. As always. You guys are doing an awesome job.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being a part of it. I love when you guys share your stories, man. This is really powerful stuff. So if you want to call in another time and share the other one, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hey, I collect them kind of. I've got all kinds of stories, but there's only a couple that I can attest to that have happened to me.
Right.
Perfect.
But
yeah,
I've got several, but like I said, one that I know for sure it happened to me. And like I said, what do you guys think about the boat story? What do you think happened there?
It does. It sounds like something was probably. I mean, it sounds like the house probably already had a presence. It's just sometimes people are the triggers. You know, like for her, she didn't experience anything there because maybe there was no resonance. Right. But the fact that you're there to fix something, maybe that was really powerful for a spirit of a house that was like, okay, you know, I'm going to let them know I'm here or whatever. And, just decided to make its presence known to you in that way. It doesn't sound like malicious or hurtful. It's just like they just wanted you to know.
No, it was nothing like that. And the thing of it is, I had never been to that house before. You know, that was my first time going there. And matter of fact, I never went back. But so, yeah, I just thought it was odd. And like I said, I ran that scenario through my head that week probably 1,000 times, and
sure.
I was just like, wow. Because I'd never heard that poltergeists were known for moving objects or anything like that. I had never heard that either.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different spirits, I think, can manipulate objects. Poltergeists tend to be really over the top, like second only to demons in activity. So, I don't know if it was poltergeist necessarily, but it's some kind of presence in the house,
right?
Just letting you know it's there. And I think that's pretty cool. So I thank you so much, brother. It's really great hearing from you, and thanks for taking the time to call in.
No problem. Hey, you guys have a great night.
All right.
Thanks.
You too, Brad. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Very cool. And we got another call, Don.
We got another call.
We do. And this one is coming from area code 845.
Guess who?
I don't know. Let's see who's calling us.
Guess.
Hello?
Guess who this is?
It's Pharmacy.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it you?
Yeah, it's Pharmacy.
Oh my God, I haven't heard you. I haven't heard you forever. And usually when you call in, you're like, "Hey, it's Farm." Not like, "Hey, it's Farm." How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Guess where I am?
Somewhere near Vancouver.
Vancouver Island, BC. That's right.
Oh, you're kind of
Vancouver Island, Victoria.
And that's
Me
Kai.
and Kylie.
oh, very cool. Well, hello guys. Happy holiday to y'all.
Hey.
Happy
Easter weekend.
Happy Easter.
you.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How's things up there? Did you have nice weather today?
Oh my
awesome.
God, it's fantastic.
Warm, bright, sunny. We spent the day drinking on the patio.
Nice.
Great.
Walking around.
That's how you do
Gorgeous.
it. That's how you do it. That's
How are you
great.
guys?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Just cooking through the evening and talking all kinds of paranormal goodness. So everything's always good in this world.
Fantastic. Well, we just wanted to check in from BC and say hello and support the Portal family.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to hear from you. I kind of missed you, brother, and I'm glad that you made the journey. Had you ever been up there before now, or is this your first time?
Never been here before, and now I'm here permanently. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Quite the jump.
It was a bit of an ordeal getting across the Canadian border. I would highly advise for anyone who is American trying to get across it not to do so, but we made it, so.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad it all worked out. And you guys,
It was quite an ordeal.
Thank you.
we had to export our farm, but you guys take care of them up there then, right, Kai?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to pop in and say hi and say thanks. And
well, of course.
We love and support your channel.
Well, thank you very much, and great to hear from you guys. Stay in touch.
For sure.
We'll do. Carry on with the show. Good to hear from you guys.
All right, take care, man. See you now.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Farm and Kai.
Farm and Kai. We have more of the portal here. How we doing? God, we're going to have a half hour of Mandela effects. And that's okay, folks. I mean, there's never a set schedule here on the show. I love when you guys call in.
Didn't we already talk about Mandela effects?
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh, Don. Oh, Don, how you
no,
doing?
that's deja vu, right? It's not quite the same thing.
We are going to spend the last half hour working on the Mandela effects, and it's an interesting topic. Most of you are already well aware of what the Mandela effects are, but if you're not, you're going to be kind of tripping out. I think you will. I find most of these to be absolutely fascinating and weird and amazing, and it definitely does seem suspect that something happened in our history,
right,
that bumped us from one understanding or reality to a completely another one. And
it's kind of weird because, when I was driving in, I was like, God, maybe I should have took that blue pill.
I think you took enough pills as it is.
Well, I plead
You've been feeding the fish, Don?
No. I don't share.
Okay. All right.
That's not really true.
But we're down to the 3-minute mark now. I think I'll maybe just start looking at a couple of these here because these are pretty amazing, fascinating. This is an article we're going to be going through, folks, and this is coming from Reader's Digest. We just got time for a couple of them now, but this is 44 Mandela Effect examples that are seriously mind-bending.
Seriously.
And here's the start. Oh, man, look at that font on.
I know.
Who can read that?
Not I.
I need a way bigger monitor to be checking out a font that size.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa, went a little too far there.
Went a little heavy on my clicker. All right, in her explanation of the Mandela Effect, Broom cites how she and a number of other acquaintances have clear memories of activist and former South American African president Nelson Mandela dying in a prison years before his actual passing, complete with a televised funeral. However, in reality, Mandela passed away in 2013 from a respiratory tract infection. This raised serious questions. How can so many people, strangers even, have the same memory of something that didn't happen as they remember it? And that's why we call it a Mandela effect, because this is kind of the key memory
genesis,
that started the discussion of how can people have these different memories. So another one is Curious George. And I don't know how you guys remember Curious George, but I swear to God he had a tail. It says, what could we possibly remember incorrectly about that curious little monkey from popular children's literature? Well, there's some debate about whether or not the character is illustrated with a tail. Many remember Curious George as having one in the books written by H.A. Ray, but no, George never had a tail. I think he did. I really do. But, it's one of those small things. but I think he did. I wasn't being tongue-in-cheek, Don. The Berenstein Bears is the next one. We talked about this one a little bit last night. I remember Berenstein. While we're on the subject of children's book characters, we'd be remiss without mentioning that the sweet country bear family, the Berenstain Bears. Wait, do you think we've hit a typo? Many reports the family name spelled Berenstein with an E-I-N instead of an A-I-N, but no, they are the Berenstains, always have been, and likely always will be.
That's false. People have even found books.
And the VHS.
And the videotape, the cassette tape,
Yep, where it's obviously spelled differently now. Could those be typos? I don't know.
Could they be like UK versions?
I don't think they changed nationality for that.
I don't know.
But
They changed spelling?
Maybe. But
who knows?
I'll tell you what, we'll get into a whole bunch more
Curiouser.
when we get back, folks, on the other side. Don't go away. Last break of the night, and we'll be right back. gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, guess what time it is?
It's time to get spooky.
It's time to get spooky. Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
No, throw money, you fools. Don't you clap, don't clap, throw money.
Welcome everybody to the last half hour of the show. It's gone by really quickly tonight.
Half hour.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
It is a time anomaly. This show is a time anomaly. I know it. I know it in my bones, but even my mom says, she says, I can't believe how quickly 2 hours goes. Mm-hmm. Mom's like, well, yeah, it's probably the commercial break. She goes, no, even on the nights you don't have commercials. I'm like, well, that's a good thing. I thought it was just me, but people say that, I guess. Time flies, but, if you're having fun, it's supposed to. That's what I understand anyway, but we are cooking through a whole list. Before I go any further, though, let me just say, if you're listening on TFR, iHeart, tune in and TalkStream Live. Stick around because following the Paranormal Portal is Paisley Wild. The spaces between coming up, and she's going to be talking about... Don?
I don't know.
She's talking about the baccalaureans or what?
What?
No, alcohol or something like that.
No, she was just saying we're going to get drunk on the show tonight.
Oh. Well, that's one you won't want to miss.
I don't know. I think she was being tongue in cheek.
Throwing money.
Throwing money. Woo, viva.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's donated tonight. We really appreciate it.
It really goes to a good cause, like my sake.
I got a brand new pair of sakis. It's the only sakis I'm cooking. But
so last night, actually, Paisley opened up a box from Two Blind Brothers on the show, and I don't even know it was in that. Have you seen those? They're like those subscription boxes.
I've seen things like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those.
And so, like, it's literally, I guess, like two blind brothers that go out and they shop for you. And
wow.
They just buy whatever and they put it in the thing. And you can get a pair of socks and a pipe, a tobacco pipe.
Get
dirty.
Nice bong.
It's like, let's throw this one in there.
Well, very cool.
That's a nice, comfy pair of socks.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. And the whole point of that was, taking on faith,
Taking on faith.
So
absolutely.
Go. Thanks, Karen.
Aw, thank you. Very, very cool. We love the love. And thank you to everybody that can give. And please just remember, it's not expected. It's not asked for, but we certainly appreciate it. But there's lots of ways to give to the show. Just being here and watching the shows, liking the streams, sharing the streams out to your social media and stuff. It's a huge way to help us and thank us. And we really, really appreciate it, every effort that all of you guys do on our behalfs, because we don't advertise. We're just doing the show for 5 years, and here we are. So we are where we are now because of your guys' efforts. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Cold Stairs. Thank you, everybody. That's really sweet. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Very, very kind.
No, we've got the best.
We do have the best. There's no question. We got the best chat in all of YouTube.
Oh, speaking of best, you know what?
What?
If you guys are out there and you guys are like binging like old portals and stuff, send in like if you got a part that you think was particularly funny or something you liked, or me laughing at Brent.
Wait, what about me laughing at you?
That doesn't happen anyhow. But it's never happened in my reality.
What color is the sky in your world, Don?
It's the same as the color that Cold Stairs. Viva! Yay! Oh, thanks. Yeah,
happy anniversary, 5 years off.
But if you
even with Don. All right.
So anyhow, if you find a spot in anywhere, whether it be the podcast or the YouTubes, send us, like
the video name,
and the timestamp, so we can get those collected into like a best of. Now, I really know it's hard because they're all awesome, but still, you can still do it.
It's possible. So if you're ever watching one of our archive episodes and you find something really hilarious, just send us an email, paranormalportalradio@gmail.com, with the video name and about a timestamp of what you saw that you thought was funny. And we'll put together a compilation reel of all of our listener favorites.
And don't do black-eyed beans, okay? Just don't.
It's been done to death.
And let's do find Nunks. Somebody find Nunks. And
let's find that one.
Yeah, and let's do.
Well, then we'll do beans again. Then screw it.
Well, no, because we haven't done Nunks to death yet. That was.
Well, no, I thought it was probably done to death.
And then Nunks Road. If you find Nunk's Road, let me know.
Wasn't it Nunker Road?
Nunker Road, right? Yeah. That was
anyway.
funny.
All right, let's get to our subject.
There's good ones. Okay, Mandela effects. Hey,
Mandela effects, folks. We're going to go back into the Mandela effects because I know many of these are resonating with you guys already in the chat. I can see the responses coming in. And I got to tell you, most of them do for me too. So I'm apparently from somewhere else, but I don't know what happened in my home dimension, but glad to be here. Glad we're all here together. However, things are screwed up here because we got Berenstain Bears. We've got Curious George with no tail. And what else do we got? Rich Uncle Pennybags. What?
Oh, no.
This is the Monopoly Man. Real name is Rich Uncle Pennybags. No. Ever the shrewd business tycoon, he was always dressed up to the nines with his top hat and monocle. He did wear a monocle, didn't he? Well, apparently he did not. Guess Rich Uncle Pennybags had great vision after all because he was never drawn with the eyepiece. Many of us just picture him that way in our alternative memories. See, I kind of remember him with that too.
I'm going to have to go home and look at my Monopoly board because I think he had a monocle. And I don't remember him being called Pennybags.
Rich Uncle Pennybags.
I always remember Moneybags.
Oh, maybe. Well, just look it up. Let me know. Come back to us with that, Don.
Yeah, someday.
Lindbergh baby's the next one. 1932 American aviator Charles Lindbergh experienced the unthinkable. His 20-month-old son was kidnapped. While a host of people remember the event remaining a cold case, with the child never to be seen again, that's not what happened. Sadly, the toddler's body was found a little more than 2 months after the initial kidnapping took place. According to an autopsy report, the child had been killed by a blow to the head not long after he was abducted. Oh, that's horrible.
I remember the child not being
found.
Yeah.
See, I don't really have a horse in this game. I don't know. I mean, of course, I heard about the Lindbergh baby, but I don't remember any details.
Right, yeah.
What a horrible thing. I don't know who could give a blow to a child's head. You've got to...
Well, a blow to the head. Now, it doesn't say... And I don't recall if ever heard it, but then again, in my reality, they never found the poor thing.
Aww.
So I don't think we would know. But a blow to the head could have been just like...
What a heartbreaker, though.
Yeah. So anyhow.
Yeah, anyway, there you go. Yabba Dabba Doo. They're the most popular Stone Age family, but with such international recognition, why is it so many people don't know how to spell the Flintstones family name? A lot of times the first T in Flintstones is dropped, with the animated brood referred to as the Flintstones. Nope, their name was always had two of the letter T.
Yep.
The Flintstones aren't home alone with misspellings. There's apparently a lot more that have happened. But
it's always been the Flint, because there's nothing called a Flintstone.
Right.
It's a Flintstone.
A Flintstone, in other words, to strike sparks. Yeah. So I don't ever having remembered seeing no T. It's always been the Flintstones. That's all, folks. Another animated Mandela effect oddities: Bugs Bunny and crew are all members of the Looney Tunes family. Yeah, that's Tunes, Tunes, not Toons. This alternative memory is a little more understandable. After all, they're cartoons, so spelling it Looney Tunes, Toons, would make a heck of a lot more sense, don't you think? There actually is a logical explanation for it, though. Not that they tell us.
But I think it has to do with the Animaniacs.
Oh, probably.
I think it more has to do with something with the Animaniacs as opposed to Bugs Bunny.
What's going on Bugs Bunny's eyes there? Jeez. What's in that carrot exactly?
Is he half fish?
He might be.
Hey, you got my carrots, buddy. You got those carrots. Hey,
you got a carrot with a little blow.
I'll just take a slice. That's okay. Boiled? Yeah, that's fine.
Mother Teresa's next. As per the Mandela Effect website, one more notable alternate memories is the canonization of Mother Teresa. It appears a large segment of the population recalls her being a saint back in the 1990s. However, this isn't the case. According to CNN, Mother Teresa was declared a saint in 2016 by Pope Francis.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
According to CNN.
Fake news.
I had nothing to say.
I don't know. Star Wars. In a galaxy far, far away, the Mandela Effect exists. Yes, the phenomenon even has infiltrated Star Wars, while even the most diehard fans quote a quintessential moment in Return of the Jedi as Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father. That's not what he said. In actuality, Vader said, no, I am your father. See, I know because I've seen even an interview of James Earl Jones going, Luke, I am your father, on a talk show. So even he screwed it up, if that's the case. But
I don't know. And then also, well, I don't know if he'll get to it, so I'll just wait.
Okay. All right. Oh, great. More slides. Yeah, I hate these kind of sites. Don't give me a bunch of slides. Here's Snow White.
Snow White.
Here we go, folks. This is where it starts getting goofy. Here's another cinematic discrepancy that we apparently all remember incorrectly. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, who could forget the way in which the evil queen says the phrase, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Most of us, because that's not what the villain says. The actual line is, magic mirror on the wall.
Not.
Exactly. I know this.
It's not.
This is a change. This is a shift, folks. I know this. I was a kid. I loved this movie
It's
when I
all a
was little.
psyop. It's all a psyop.
It must be.
That's why I should have took that blue pill.
You better stay away from pills. Maybe that's a better start.
Just don't take the blue pill and iron. You might spin around Point North.
Oof. All right. So, Old Smokey is next. This one might make you question your entire childhood. Remember the character that popped up in all those wildfire prevention PSAs? Smokey the Bear, that's him. Or is it? While he's commonly referred to as Smokey the Bear, his real name is simply Smokey Bear, and his website confirms it. I don't know.
It's always been Smokey Bear.
What?
Yeah, it's not Smokey the Bear. People just say, and this is where I come from. People say Smokey the Bear, but it's never been Smokey the Bear. It's in my world. It was always Smokey Bear, but they refer to him as the Bear because he is a bear.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your own little Mandela effect.
Meh.
There's a
It's
good.
okay. You can be wrong. It's all right.
Well, I could be, but I'm not. But you're right. I could be. Abe Vigoda. This is kind of a dated reference, but there's a good chance at least once in your life, you presumed a celebrity or public figure has passed, when in fact they're very much still alive. Actor Abe Vigoda might be the most Mandela effect example of this. Vigoda, who actually died in 2016, was reportedly dead by a number of different media outlets for some 30 years prior. Wow, that's why all the jobs dried up, huh?
Wow.
Abe Vigoda. Wow, that's a what the hell is this? Chartreuse. Okay. All right. What's going on here? Chartreuse. Well, such a lovely shade of pink, isn't it?
Isn't.
Or do we mean green?
Yes.
There's a divide about whether or not chartreuse is in the green family or a reddish pink. We're here to tell you that it's actually a yellow-green color and reportedly gets its name from the liqueur called chartreuse. Okay, and there it is right there.
Chartreuse is green. It's always has been.
I couldn't tell you. I don't have a horse in this race either. So, Cinderella's Castle. Today, Cinderella's Castle in Disneyland parks around the world sits in the Magic Kingdom just beyond Main Street, an iconic symbol of the theme park. Do you remember when the castle served as the main entrance to the Magic Kingdom? Well, lots of people do. The only problem is the castle has always been in the exact same spot and was never located near the admission turnstiles. That's interesting, though, because I thought when they first opened either Disneyland or World that they had risked the collapse of it because it wasn't meant to support a lot of weight, but people were getting up on it, and there was actually a walk-through underneath that they were worried it was going to collapse.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's not a walk-through, though. It's the actual entrance to the, because you go in there and you ride a tram through there and you see ghosts and things like that. Or at least, that was like, 45 years ago that I was there. But I don't, this one's not one that I'm familiar with anyhow.
Okay. Well, there you go. Henry VIII, King Henry VIII is perhaps best known for his six marriages, but history buffs also recall an infamous portrait of the monarch standing with a turkey leg in one hand. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a turkey leg, but this alleged portrait never happened. Absolutely zero evidence today of Henry VIII holding the aforementioned turkey leg, despite the widespread alternative memory alluding to it. So apparently people have... I seem to recall that too. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't King Henry. Maybe it was some knockoff of it. But Very weird. Challenger explosion. When the Challenger space shuttle exploded 73 seconds after liftoff, it shocked the world. But the date of the tragedy is sometimes hotly contested, with memories of it occurring in 1983, 84, or 85. It in fact happened January 28th, 1986. It's possible the alternative memory exists because Space Shuttle Challenger had experienced successful missions previously, including its initial launch in 1983.
So what year was Reagan shot?
I don't know. 80.
Because that was the same year.
Oh, well, maybe it must have been 86 then. I don't know, because that's when this was apparently.
Reagan was shot the same year because I was in 6th grade.
I don't know.
Or maybe I was in 6th grade. Yeah,
I was in high school when the shuttle exploded.
You are a year older than I am.
Well, then,
no?
Yeah, because I remember when they wheeled out TVs everywhere and everybody sat and watched it going, oh, my God.
You weren't in high school.
Huh?
Oh, wait. I was in high school. Maybe it's...
it's okay. You can be wrong, Don.
Don't make me tell the joke about Christy McCullough's eyes.
I don't even know what that means.
She had two blue eyes. One blue this way, one blue that way.
Oh, the teacher, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
no, you're right. No, I'm misremembering. Yes. Lunatic, yes, 81. I don't know about that, but I'm misremembering.
Okay.
So, I'm in a confused state.
Which is the next one? Confused state. Seriously, it's right there on the screen.
It.
Oh, did you? I was like, wow.
It's just kind of apropos.
Oh. This feels like a particularly odd one, but there are a host of people who remember being taught at one time that there are 52 states in the United States as opposed to the reality of just 50. What could this stem from? Maybe folks are confusing states with the addition of U.S. territories like Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, but either way, this one is a doozy for the Mandela effect. We Are the Champions. Now if this is the Queen song,
yeah, it's the Queen song.
It ended with this. This is not right. It always ended with the world. With so much renewed publicity around the rock icon's Queen since the release of Bohemian Rhapsody in 2018, music lovers are taking a closer look at their hit, We Are the Champions. It became an accepted notion that lead singer Freddie Mercury passionately ends the song by singing Of the World. But that didn't happen in the recording as evidenced by the lyrics. It did, though. I know I heard him go, of the world, and he just trails off, and it's just this beautiful Freddie Mercury passionate moment. And now it just doesn't exist. That just troubles me. That one really troubles me. I got a horse in that game. Gremlins, 1984 cult classic, was a huge hit with kids and adult moviegoers, but those who saw the movie remember the name of the villainous gremlin differently. Some say his name was Stripe, while others insist it was Spike. As it turns out, the sinister gremlin was, in fact, Stripe, though there is a licensed T-shirt available on Amazon under the name of Spike, adding to the confusion. So that just might be bad merchandising. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Spike, though.
Do you?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Not Stripe.
That's
ridiculous.
I don't know. There you go. There's more slides, though. So let's cruise through some more. MASH. Anybody out there watch MASH?
I used to.
I like MASH. It's kind of a cheeky look at a pretty terrible time in history. But anyway, the television series MASH delivered a lot of heartbreaking deaths throughout its 11 seasons. Some viewers of the show clearly recall the sad fate of Corporal Walter Radar O'Reilly, played by Gary Berghoff. But in fact, the character appeared through season 8 and was very much alive during his send-off episodes. In fact, Berghoff was one of 2 actors to reprise his MASH role from the original movie upon which the series was based.
What is the controversy here?
That they remember him dying during the episodes.
Like he actually died?
No,
in
like
real
his
life,
character.
Because he was in Aftermash.
Okay.
He was in the show Aftermash, which was After MASH.
I don't know. I mean, I never saw Aftermash. I don't remember him dying during the show, though, either, no. I got to say. But I wasn't a religious watcher of the show ever.
No, he eventually got discharged and sat home, and that's when he started building his Jeep.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then he hooked up with Sherman and the others later in Aftermath.
Okay. Well, here's another one, Sex in the City. It says the hit HBO series, which spawned 2 feature films following the exploits of 4 best friends living and loving in New York, is still beloved by legions of fans who watch its reruns that seem to run continuously on TV, but there's a discrepancy in the show's title. There are fans who swear the pilot episode of the series was titled Sex in the City. After all, lead character Carrie Bradshaw was writing about sex, love, and relationships in the Big Apple. But nope, the title has always been Sex and the City. Mm-mm. See, I remember Sex in the City. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I never watched the show, but I remember that. How about Febreze? Did you realize Febreze has got its own Mandela effect?
Yeah, because it is 1 or 2 E's is the...
Yeah, that's just it. And another example of household name remembered with an alternate spelling, odor eliminator Febreze comes to mind. With a spray here and a spray there, the product is intended to eliminate unpleasant odors and replace them with a fresh, breezy scent. Perhaps that's why you'll find plenty of people who swear it is, or at least at one time was, spelled Febreze with 2 E-E-Z-E's. However, in this reality, the stuff is Febreze with 1 E and no extra E needed.
Okay, so right there, they qualified it. However, in this reality,
yeah,
they qualified it.
Sure, but that means the reality of which this article is written. C-3PO. Now, This is one.
Yeah.
The silver leg didn't happen. I don't care what you guys say.
I don't know if,
because even the action figures were all gold. They were not silver legs on those action figures.
I think it was just lighting issue.
Well, I think that could maybe account for it. But the lovable droid C-3PO in Star Wars Legend, known for his gold figure, but if you recall, C-3PO as being gold, and only gold, that's the Mandela effect hard at work. You see, the droid actually has a silver piece on his right leg from about the knee joint down through his foot.
No.
See, I don't remember that at all.
No.
I've seen the pictures that apparently show it, but in my dimension, it was always gold.
I remember watching the movie and then specifically looking for that, and there is. I think it's just lighting, though. I think
it might be,
or maybe it wasn't necessarily like they hadn't got it painted yet or something like that, and
I don't know.
And it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't finished. Like it wasn't like
sure
finished out. It was gold, but it was. When it was on the screen, it was gold. You know what I mean? There's like a sheen or a patina, and they need to put on it whenever.
Yeah,
but it's always been gold.
I think it has been too. I don't know.
It glitters is not gold.
Kit Kat is the next one. We love a hyphen as much as the next person, but one does not exist in the name of the chocolatey treat Kit Kat. In fact, there's no space between the kit and the cat either. You'll find plenty of chocolate lovers who insist at one point in time a hyphen joined the two, but regretfully inform them that they are wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
I think there was at one time.
You do?
I think there was. I
don't know. I really don't know on this one. I don't know. But Skechers is next. Or is it Skechers like this, or Skechers? The footwear brand that has been in existence since 1992. There's plenty of debate about how the company's name is spelled. So which is it? Skechers, C-H-E-R-S, or T-C-H-E-R-S? It's decidedly Skechers, C-H-E-R-S shoe. It's decidedly Skechers, shoe fans. It's an easy mistake to make. After all, if you were referring to a drawing, you'd spell it Sketch, T-C-H. But this isn't about pencil and paper. It's about shoes. And this classic brand is Skechers. Billy Graham's funeral. It's interesting, so many deaths of public figures are remembered quite differently from person to person. Reverend Billy Graham is one such example. Some swear that remember watching the evangelist's funeral on television at least a decade ago, but in reality, the American Graham passed away recently in 2018. Either way, there's a slew of people remembering the television funeral of another prominent figure, the Mandela effect at work again. Excuse me. Oscar winner. I don't really care about whether he got an Oscar or not. Big, I don't know, Dalmatians. We only got minutes left here, so Actually, we don't even have that. This is probably a good place to stop. We can visit more of these on subsequent shows, but
just to go back to Renee in the chat says, I believe the first dude had an honorable discharge, was killed because his helicopter was shot down as he was being flown out of the war, and everybody on MASH base was bummed out and depressed. That was the original
commander, right?
The original
captain,
Colonel,
yeah.
Colonel. It wasn't Sherman T. Potter. That was the one before. I can't remember his name. But yeah, when he was heading his way home, and they blew him out of the sky. Anyhow.
That's it, folks. We're all out of time. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the Paranormal Portal. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of it. We love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night, everybody.
Good night.